Hello YouTube, Stillborn86 here with another gun-related video on my terrible camera. I apologize for that. I do have a better camera. It's packed away somewhere. I could not locate it, so this is all I have for the moment, and I'm very sorry about that. As you can probably ascertain from the title of the video, this is about a holster, a carry option that I've come up with. I think I've come up with it. I don't know if anybody's done this before or thought of this before. I didn't really research it. I just kind of started doing things, and I'll walk you through my thought process later on in the video. But this is what I did. Maybe to give you some ideas, maybe so you can give me some ideas. If you see something wrong or something that could be done better, please go ahead and let me know. If you want to do this on your own and you have any questions, feel free to message me. I'll be happy to give you some pointers. I will preface this with my stitching is not great. I don't sew very many things. If something tears, clothes-wise, I just turn it into work clothes and wear it until it falls apart. So that's coming. You'll see it. It's not good. To begin with, let's go ahead and safety check the gun. I do have Smith & Wesson 9mm shield here. There is no magazine, as you can see. Chamber is empty. Let's go ahead and close that. Point it safe direction. Pull the trigger. Let's put the safety on, just for good measure. So that's the gun we're going to use for today. I am going to use a Black Hawk size 4 holster. It's an Uncle Mike's style. I did this just for laziness. You don't have to use one of these, and I'll show you how when we get to that point, but again, I'm lazy, so I'm going to use that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce the issue that I had. While at work, I wear a tucked shirt, or if I go do construction-related activities, I wear a tool belt. Both of those, to me, don't bode well for in-the-waistband carry. Sure, there are holsters such as this Galco, not Galco, I am so sorry. This is a Crossbreed. Galco makes one similar to this, but this right here is a Crossbreed. I have a Crossbreed Super Tuck here. I have a mini tuck for my XDS. This does allow for a shirt to be tucked in behind the clip, and I know people that do that all the time. I've tried it, and I don't like it, because I found that when you tuck a shirt in with the weapon in the waistband, it prints really badly. So I didn't really like that. So I tried pocket carry. I've tried carrying in the top front pocket. That was not comfortable. I found that printed just as much. It just didn't work out for me. So I started carrying in a cargo pocket. Now, that was better and worse. Let's start with the bad things. Well, let's start with the good things. It was better because there was more room in the cargo pocket. The gun fit better, and I felt it didn't print as much. All of those good things were also bad things. The fact that it had more room meant that it could, I guess, walk around inside the pocket more. It could rotate, it could slide, it could do whatever it wanted to do in the pocket, and it would not stay vertical to a point where I could just reach in the pocket and grab it. It would be down at an angle, so I would have to reach down, find it, move it, grab it. And I didn't really like that. Also, as I walked, I found that as I took a step, this pocket would swing around my leg and kind of, bang against things, bang against my knee. That was not comfortable. So I started thinking of new options because, we're kind of progressing from pocket carry options here. Of course, I could have gone to a smaller gun and carried in the top pocket, but I wasn't really happy with that. From my research, from my experience, the only guns that you could really carry in a top pocket are going to be your micro 380s, and they don't really give you a lot of grip. This barely gives you a lot of grip to begin with. I have pretty small hands, and this gun doesn't give you much grip at all. With the standard magazine, you can't put your pinky up there. With the extended magazine, you can. But this right here is about as small as I'm comfortable with, ergonomically, controllably. My XDS, Glock 26. You know, these are about as small as I'm willing to go. Anything smaller, I'd start losing our ergonomics. You start getting into super small barrel. This barrel right here is very small to begin with. It's a couple inches maybe. Micro 380s, you get half that, if that. So, you know, again, this is about as small as I'm willing to go. So, front pocket carry was out of the question. I could put it in a back pocket, but I didn't really like that. Somebody sneak up behind you, just pull it out. It's not covered. It's just there. So that's not very concealed either. And, you know, the back pockets are usually not that big, so this might stick out just a little bit, maybe not. If it didn't, you'd still be able to look in from the top and see. So, or see the gun. So that was not good. So I decided to try the cargo pocket carry, and I tried to take a note from my drop leg holster and the drop leg holsters that I've used in the past. Now, the elements of a drop leg holster that make it work are really three things. First is going to be the actual holster itself. I have a cargo pocket here, and I have this holster, and that keeps the gun in a specific region, and it keeps the trigger from being exposed, which are the ideas of a holster. So I've got that already. Now, the second element of a drop leg holster is going to be the vertical retention. Straps that tie up to your wet belt, and it keeps everything from falling down. Well, my pocket is connected to my waistline, which will have a belt, and my waistline doesn't go anywhere, so we're good. That's already there. The third element, the third magical element to a drop leg holster, is horizontal retention, lateral retention. There's usually one or two straps that tie around your leg, and it keeps the gun from side to side, out and in, you know, moving around, slapping your leg. It keeps the gun tight against your leg, so that as your leg moves, you know, it keeps it right up against that leg. So as your leg moves, the gun moves with you. It doesn't swing around. It doesn't do its thing. It's right there on your body. So I thought, well, that's what's missing here. So I started just altering things, just kind of playing around. The first thing I did was I wanted to focus on that looseness inside the cargo pocket with all the space, rotating, sliding inside the pocket without moving. So the first thing that I did was I went into the pocket. Let's go ahead and turn it inside out. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this very well or not. The lighting's not great, and it's black on black, so please bear with me. I took a piece of elastic, which you can find in any fabric store or really anywhere. I actually went to Walmart and got a weightlifting belt, and it had a number of different fabrics, including this elastic here. It doesn't stretch vertically, but it will stretch laterally, and that's exactly what I needed. So I got this. I cut it to the approximate length that I needed for the holster, and then I sewed it to the inside of my pocket. I tried to move to the front of the pocket as much as possible so that the gun wouldn't be back behind my leg. I wanted it right on the side of my leg, right here in the middle of this seam, per se. So I took this, I sewed it to the back side of the pocket, not the front side. I didn't sew it to the actual cloth of the pocket. I sewed it to the leg of the pocket. So if you were to take this front piece off, this would still be attached to the leg of my pocket. I sewed it there. I tried to get within about a centimeter of the bottom of the pocket here. That assures that the gun won't continue to slide down. It will hit the bottom of the pocket and it will stay there. This has solved the issue of the gun moving side to side. It solved the issue of the gun rotating inside the pocket, and it solved the issue of the gun moving, up and down. This right here doesn't seem too tight right now. I can, everything moves pretty freely. Just a word of warning, when I put my leg in there, it presses up against the elastic so tightly that I can't put the gun in the holster in at the same time. I have to take things apart and put things in one at a time. It's that tight. So a little bit of slack is okay. I was kind of worried about that when I was sewing it down. I started thinking about it, and I thought, man, this is way too loose. And turns out it came out just perfectly. So, with my leg in there, it's tight. It's not going anywhere. This gun is it's with the holster, with this Black Hawk holster, there's enough retention to keep that holster in place as is without my leg. So with my leg, it's just that much more. That being said, let's go to the final alteration, and this is where the sewing is going to get pretty ugly. So again, please bear with me and forgive me. I've got brown thread here so that you can see it. Hey, nobody can see it unless I turn the pants inside out, so I didn't really care what color it was, but you can see it better here on the video. That was the idea, because I knew I'd be doing this eventually. You can see where I've sewn the pocket to the inside of the pants. The horrible stitching job, the loops and on straight lines. Again, bear with me, I'm sorry. So I've got the elastic here, and I went to, again, Walmart, and I bought a 1-inch nylon band. Nothing special. I found this, and I think in the luggage section. They had it for like gym bags that needed new bands or whatever. I also found the 3-prong clip here, and it came with an adjustment bar. And yeah, all this is just a strap, and the idea is it wraps around my leg and clips shut, and I can tighten it or loosen it here, and it literally just hugs my leg. It hugs right above my knee, and it keeps the gun right in place. That way the gun doesn't move. It moves with, as you can see, it moves with my leg. It doesn't go anywhere. That way, as I'm walking, the gun doesn't swing around my leg, bang up against my knee, hit things that I'm walking by. It stays in place. That, again, that covers that magical third lateral strap that a drop leg holster would have. I've used these pair of pants with these alterations. I wanted to test this out before making the video, just so I didn't give anybody any false information, any false hope. I went to a construction site for 2 days, wore these pants with this gun fully loaded, ready to go. It didn't swing, it didn't move, it didn't hit anything. I didn't have to adjust it every 30 seconds like I did when I had it just freely in the Black Hawk holster in the pocket before the alterations. And it was comfortable. I barely even noticed it was there, to be honest. I also went to work. I'm not going to tell you where I work, but I wore these pants to work, and I had the gun in the pocket, tied down with all the alterations. Nobody noticed. Again, it was comfortable. Again, it was pretty... I didn't have any problems whatsoever. Your mileage may vary, but I enjoyed this much better than just having the gun freely rotating in the pocket, doing its own thing. So that's what I did with this project. Yeah, if anybody sees anything that could be done better, that was done worse, please let me know. I ended up replacing the Velcro straps here. Again, poor sewing. This right here is crooked as hell. I'm more crooked than a politician, but when the pocket's closed, nobody's going to see it. I was thinking about putting snap buttons here, so all I would have to do is pull up and it would instantly snap instead of, Velcro apart. But I didn't have the right tools. I didn't have the little clip thing to actually push buttons through, and I didn't have black surface buttons. All I had were white and silver, and it would look weird with this pocket having silver buttons and the other pocket looking just like black cloth. I mean, I feel like I'm calling enough attention to this pocket with the gun, this pocket with the gun to begin with. Nonetheless, with bright silver or pearl or white buttons on it. So yeah, I may do that later on if I get the stuff to do it. But right now, this has worked just fine for me. I think I'm going to leave it as is. But again, if anybody sees anything that they think could be done better, other than the stitching, that's the best I can do. I am so sorry. But yeah, if anybody sees anything that can be changed, that can be improved, feel free to comment. Let me know. I'm all for constructive criticism. I'll make this as good as I can. I'm tempted to do this for all of my cargo pants. It was a hour and a half worth of work, but that was because I was testing things, changing things, stitching things, then unstitching things, and just playing around with it. Now that I know what I'm doing, I think it would be 30 to 45 minutes from beginning to end, cutting the material, sizing it, and putting it in place. So yeah, I don't think it would be too terrible at all. Yeah, if you want to try this on your own and you have any questions, please feel free to message me. I'll be more than happy to answer anything you've got, if I can. That's really it. There's nothing too special about it. It's an elastic band and a nylon strap with a 3-prong clip. That's all there is to it. It holds it in place very well, very comfortable. The only uncomfortable thing I have about this, I do feel like I need to tell you this, when I wear this and I clip the nylon strap to my leg, when I go to sit down anywhere, like if I get into my car to drive to work, I guess my thigh just gets fat when I sit down, and the strap is pretty tight around my leg, so when I sit down, I guess my leg just gets fatter. I don't know, maybe it squeezes the fat from my ass to my thigh, and that strap just gets tighter around my leg. I end up just unclipping that while I'm driving, and when I get somewhere, I go to clip it back before I get up. That way the strap hasn't moved around or twisted up. I just clip it back, and then I stand up, and I'm good to go. But yeah, other than that, it's the most comfortable thing next to an in the waistband holster that I can think of. You can wear a tool belt with this, and you can still get to it. You can wear a tucked shirt. You don't have to worry about untucking your shirt and getting to it because it's right there in your pocket. Yeah. So again, feel free to comment. Feel free to message me if you have any questions. If you see anything that needs to be improved, I'll definitely try some improvements. See if I can change some things up. If I do anything major, you can be sure I'll make another video. Thank you very much, and I hope you've enjoyed. Again, this is Stillborn86, and I hope you have a good day.